Yo, what's up? I am back here in Medellin, Colombia. Check out this beautiful view. This video applies to everyone, but especially if you're trying to heal an addiction or if you're on the sexual mastery journey of nofap or semen retention. This video will extra apply to you. Whenever you're trying to emotionally heal in your life, and this is a pattern I've seen with the hundreds of clients I've worked with, is that things get worse often before they get better, and that the healing journey can actually be quite emotionally painful. Basically, when you take away your emotional pacifier, whether that's porn or whether it's alcohol or drugs or whatever it is in your life, or you're trying to master your sexual energy and you're dealing with urges and strong energies and tensions, what happens is when you take away your pacifier, it can get really damn painful. Suddenly you could have extreme feelings of cravings, and also just any addiction, you're gonna have strong feelings of loneliness, depression, stress. Maybe you haven't looked at porn in a week or two, you're not numbing your emotions through looking at porn, and you're allowing yourself to be with your emotions, and instead of suppressing your emotions and pushing them down, suddenly your fears are gonna get bigger, your insecurities are gonna get bigger. It's like, no wonder most of the world is addicted to something. It's tough, it's emotionally painful and challenging, and a big part of addiction is denial. When someone's addicted, sometimes it's hard to see one's life objectively, and when you're going through those kind of withdrawal, emotional withdrawal type symptoms, suddenly people often realize, wow, I knew I was lonely, but I'm actually more lonely than I thought I was. I knew I was depressed, but I'm actually quite depressed, and my life is a mess, and I have a lot more work to do on myself than I initially was willing to admit to myself. Wow, I have fears, but these fears are actually pretty big. And sometimes even in the withdrawal process, those fears and insecurities can be even overblown and exaggerated, because there's, you're going through almost like withdrawals. You're facing those emotions for the first time. But the beautiful news is, once you ride those waves and you can get through, your life transforms and you feel so much better about yourself. Healing is tough. And anyways, several clients of mine have mentioned a book to me that has helped them. And once I hear about a book, like the third or fourth time, I kind of take that as a sign from God or higher intelligence. Hey, this is 3 or 4 people have told me about this book. Let's check it out. It could help my own life, and it could also help my clients. And after hearing about the book Letting Go like 4 times by David Hawkins, I decided to give it a read. And it's a really awesome book. I think the beauty of this book is that it really hits the nail on the head about what the root of emotional healing is. That's really powerful. He calls this technique the letting go technique. And it simply is, whatever you're going through in life, whether urges to look at porn or depression or stress or whatever it is to simply pause. I don't know, maybe you could go lie down or sit on a couch or even go on a walk and simply feel what you're feeling. Simply be with yourself. Don't escape, and be with yourself. And it's simple, but it's a lot harder said than done. When you're feeling your emotions in his letting go technique, he says to ignore all mentation, ignore all thoughts. And when in an emotionally hard place, your thoughts are kind of going to be nonsense and rambling, and it's just going to be editorializing and mentation that's often kind of just fluff. And he says, what you need to do to heal is simply locate in your body your feelings, the depression, the cravings, locate it and simply feel it. Feel that emotion, and also put your awareness on the sensations in the body and feel those sensations in the body and feel it. And he says if it's too powerful, you could break it up into chunks, maybe do it for 5-10 minutes, take a break, do it for 5-10 minutes. And this is really a lifelong practice. And the more you do this over and over, the more you heal in your life, and the more your level of consciousness increases, as Hawkins talks about. And it's really basically the most practical form of meditation that there is. I've never liked how most people describe meditation of, like following the breath, but his letting go technique is basically the practical idea of just feeling your emotions, feeling your sensations in your body and being with it, And doing that, when you're no longer suppressing your emotions, that leads to healing. His letting go technique is only like the first 3 chapters. Then his other chapters are more in depth. His insights and his model on psychology and healing and spirituality. At the end of the book, he shares some miraculous stories of things he's healed and transformed, like truly miraculous, hard to believe things. Some things he says are really out there, but his basic message is like spot on. So like I said, I don't agree with everything he says in the book. He says, for example, talking about your emotions, that might not help, and you just got to feel it. And I actually disagree with him on that. I think having someone to talk out how you're feeling can be extremely therapeutic. In one of his books, he even talks about how he was in therapy for a long time. And I think in his letting go, he kind of oversimplifies it about focusing on yourself. But we're not these lone islands. Life is hard, and social support can be extremely valuable. So I didn't really like how he downplayed that. I'm a big believer in social support and things like therapy as well. But I think the point he was making is lots of people kind of like trauma dump. They just kind of dump what they're emotionally going through and then never even take the time to feel it. And I think that was his point, in that you really have to just feel your emotions. That's the root cause of healing. That's where you got to go, is within. Several years ago, I actually made a video talking about how to handle urges that's very parallel to this video. I remember getting comments on that video saying, hey, this is one of your best videos, Luke, so I wanted to shout out that video. I'll put a link up here in the card and in the description. A shout out to my coaching, GoldJacketLuke.com. Check out my other videos. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Peace.